All right, let's continue with part B. We have exact same trig substitution. For that reason, dx is going to be the same. The right triangle is going to be the exact same as part A. And radical x squared minus 25 is still 5 tan theta. So right now, we're going to just rewrite this integral in terms of theta. So x cubed is 5 secant theta quantity cubed, and the bottom is 5 tan theta, and dx equals 5 secant theta tan theta d theta. Okay. Let's see what cancels out here. Well, I have 5 tan, canceling 5 tan here, okay, in the bottom, right? So now I have 5 cubed secant cubed times secant theta d theta. So that's in fact 5 cubed is 125 pulled out. Secant fourth power theta d theta. Okay. This takes us back to the previous section that we went over the integrals involving the powers of secant and tangent. So I want you to remind you this this table here, or guidelines if you want. So you have even power of secant and odd power of tan, and we had the rule. We had sort of like the guidelines to decide like how we can convert that integral to something that we can integrate. So here we have the fourth power of secant, and there you go. That aligns with the setup here, that secant is raised to the power of 4. What we do is just we reserve 1 secant squared for dx, and the rest is rewritten in terms of using the Pythagorean identity. In other words, secant squared x is written as 1 plus tan squared x. So let's apply the strategy back down here. Okay, so I'm going to reserve 1 secant. Let me just put a border here. So that, in fact, do we need this? Probably not anymore. Okay, so we already figured it out. Okay, so I'm going to reserve 1 secant squared term for d theta, and I will have just secant squared theta left here because this is the fourth power in total. But also I'm going to rewrite this as 1 plus tan squared, as the way it is described in this recipe here. Okay? So 1 tan squared and secant squared. Since I have no tan to the power of n in the integral, so I don't need to worry about those terms. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. I have now. Let's just continue from right here. So 125. I'm going to write this with 2 integrals here. Okay. Integral secant squared theta d theta plus, in fact, we can do everything in one shot. I think we can do everything in one shot by just one u substitution. Here we go. Here is my u substitution. We have a lot of substitutions going on here. Okay, so let's be careful. So I'm going to do a u substitution of u equals tan theta, so that du is secant squared theta d theta. This was the whole rationale of applying the recipe over there, just to call tan theta to be u, so that secant squared d theta is going to be just du. Okay, so this is equal to 125 in the new variable. We have 1 plus u squared du. So now this is a relatively easier integral to take care of. In fact, this is just the use of power rule for integration. So it's in fact u plus u cubed over 3 plus c. Okay. So now we have to backtrack of everything. So at this moment, let's see what I can do. I am going to have a new slide. All right, I just rewrote the final output. And remember that along the way, we had two different substitutions. So we're going to back substitute. Here we go. I have u, right? U equals tan theta. Here we go. I have tan theta plus tan theta cubed over 3 plus c, and that's the first back substitution. And I had the second one, I have the first one in fact, right, x equals 5 secant theta. But I need now tan theta. So to be able to sort of like back substitute, I got to go back to the right triangle here and retrieve the data for tan theta. Well, what is tan theta? Tan theta is opposite divided by adjacent. So this radical term, radical x squared minus 25 divided by 5. Okay, I can go back and write that down. So radical x squared. This is, by the way, the radical, right? I'm sorry, I forgot the radical sign here, okay? So that's a typo, all right? This is over 5, okay? And then radical x squared minus 25 over 5 cubed divided by 3, okay? All right. Here we go. Let's just simplify this. So this is 25 radical x squared minus 25. And when you take the cube of that, so this is already 1/2 power of x squared minus 25. So I'm talking about this radical term here. And if you take the cubic power of that, that'll be x squared minus 25 to the power of 3/2. You still have 5 here, right? And you should take the cube of that. That's 125, and you're dividing by 3. You also multiply everything by 125. So at the end of the day, please pause the video if you want to and do these calculations on your own pace. Okay, so that should boil down to this final form here. Okay, you can even simplify this further. It's up to your taste. Okay, but at this moment, we're done with integrating x cubed over radical x squared minus 25 dx by first using this substitution here, x equals 5 secant theta, right here, right? And then next we use the u equals tan theta substitution as an in-between step, okay, to simplify the integrals to something that I can use the power rule for integration. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.